Good morning. This is Lead Bullets for Life. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and it's July 12th. And what do I have in front of me? Well, this is what they call range scrap. And what is range scrap? Well, basically range scrap is spent bullets you find in berms, in the backstops of outdoor gun ranges, even indoor gun ranges. In this case, this came from an outdoor gun range, and I was privileged to acquire maybe 30 or 40 pounds of it to start casting ingots. So how do I get this range scrap to turn into ingot bars to turn into bullets? Well, you're going to need a few tools and a little patience and some safety tips in order to accomplish this. The end results are satisfying, gratifying, and once you cast your lead bullets, load them up, and test fire them, you will see that every effort, every minute of your effort was not a waste of time. So before we get started, we're going to have to acquire a few tools and some equipment. Alright, let's go to my lead melting bench, and we'll start with the casting procedure for lead ingots. So here are the tools we'll be needing to melt down range scrap into clean, usable ingots to make bullets. Alright, number one, you're going to need some kind of a stove. Coleman stove here works great. This one here is uses a cap fuel. It has a manual pump, 2 burners, windshields. It works really good because it burns extremely hot. And you're going to need some kind of a pan, like a 5-quart pan. Safety equipment, you're going to need some gloves, leather gloves preferably, safety glasses or goggles, something to sift out the slag and all the impurities. You'll need a ladle, of course, to pour the lead into ingot molds, and the ingot mold itself. I'm using a Lee 1 pound, half-pound 4-cavity ingot mold, and it works really well for me. And you're going to need something to put it on. This bakeware tin tray will work really good. It's thick enough and will hold the heat of the lead ingots while they're cooling. Alright folks, let's get started making molds and ingots. Okay, you're going to want to fill up your tank. A small funnel and some Coleman camp fuel. And you want to be careful in pouring in the fuel. It is flammable. Remember, keep smoking, matches, anything hot away from fuel. Once we're done with that, we're going to cap off the tank, apply pressure to it, start the burners. So, add your range scrap to the 5-quart pan. Pump up your pump about maybe 50 times or so, and then open up the valve and light the burner. Okay, burner's going pretty good. Let it warm up a little bit. Let the flame kind of work do its job, and then from there you're going to adjust the needle. So you can get a nice blue flame. adjust the valve. Now you want to do this outdoors, of course, because you got a lot of fumes. You got the fuel fumes, of course, and you also got the fumes from the lead melting. So we're going to let this sit for about maybe 45 minutes. From there we're going to check on the progress of the melt, then remove the slag. And then we can start to make our ingot molds. Okay, I added a little bit of candle wax for flux, and this will burn off all the impurities in the lead. And then once the lead starts to melt, start scraping off the slag so we can start pouring our mold. Okay, right now we're about 30 minutes into the melt. It's hot enough right now to melt the impurities. There are bits of wood in there that act as flux. Candle wax, within minutes it'll start to melt down, and then from there we can start removing our slag. Okay, we're about close to an hour into the melting, and it's time to remove some of the slag. Remember, protection is key to safety. Alright, gloves, goggles, open air space, the right tools to sift out the slag, and a container to place the slag in. The slag is very hot. It's just as hot as the lead being melted. Please use caution when removing slag. It may not be lead, but it's still hot enough to burn you. Alright, you guys shake out some of the lead out of it. Sometimes the jackets hold some of the lead. Down here I have a dustpan. You're not gonna get all the impurities out of it right off the bat. You might even get some lead caught inside, but that's natural. After all, it's just range lead. It's not like you bought it, you know, on eBay for $2 a pound plus shipping. Yeah, if you can get range scrap from your local range, and if you're a regular customer and you're in good with the range masters, yeah, they can hook you up. And it'll cost you practically nothing except for your time. You don't want to cook this lead too hot. Once it's melted, once the slag goes out, you need to reduce the heat. The reason why is because you're going to be burning off the tin and antinomies into the lead, and that's what maintains the hardness. So let's go ahead and do that now. Bring the temperature down a little bit. Alright, we can start pouring our lead. You get some of this stuff out of the way, and let's get the Lee 4-cavity mold. Also, you want to support the mold other than on top of this, the grill. A nice pan such as this one here, this baking pan, worked great. As we start putting the lead into the mold, we're going to start getting slag coming up from the top. Just occasionally pull it out carefully. Alright, Let's start our first batch here. These are 1 pound Lee ingots. Okay, let them cool for a minute. You're going to have some impurities on your first ingots. That's natural. You can always take out the impurities when you're molding the lead into your production pot. Alright, you want it to solidify as best as possible. Remember, this is very extremely hot. We're going to put it now in our little tray over here to let it sit and cool. Beautiful. 2 pound ingots right there. Continue on. Alright. Start removing some of the slag out as we go along. The impurities. You want the lead ingots to be as clean as possible. After all, this is range scrap and it comes from the dirt. And this little dipper here fills it up quite well, about 1 pound right there of molten lead. You want to add a little bit. There you go. Fill the mold up. Let it cool for about a minute. Watch your flame. And we want to basically empty out this pot as quickly as possible, but safely, of course. And the reason why is because as we're cooking this lead up, the antimony and tin are burning off. That's why I keep the temperature down. So you want to keep it cooking as less as possible. And start to cast your ingots right away. Alright folks, you get the general idea. You want to make sure that your mold is as close as the lead pot as possible. You don't want to be bringing this back and forth further and further. You might trip, fall, might drop on your foot. Alright, we'll let those cool off and we'll get back to this. Okay, this is what we got so far. We got quite a few ingots there, a little more than a dozen. And we still got about maybe a 1/4 pot left to go. And we'll continue on until we finish. Okay, what we're going to do now is there's a little bit of lead melted in the pot, and it's too shallow to grab the ladle. So we're going to do what we call a pour. And this is where you have to be careful because underneath you still got the flame going. And so you got to kind of like be quick but careful. In other words, hurry up but slow down, so to speak. All right, here we go. One, two, and then back on the burner. Let it cool down for a minute. Alright. It's got that white frost on top. Tells me it's ready to go into the pan. I think we should have the last remaining in here. There we go again. Okay, that should do it for us. Alright, I'm going to turn off the burner now. Let it cool down. Okay, at this point here, you want the burners to cool naturally. And right now there's some residual pressure left. And you don't want to open up this cap here until the pressure goes down a little bit. Once the flame goes down, you can open up your cap, relieve some of the pressure. Alright, let's get the last two here. Let's take a look at our ingots. Well, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Oh, about close to 30 pounds of ingots out of one coffee can full of lead. So let me show you what the slag looks like down here. And there's about maybe 2 or 3 pounds of slag down here. And these are all the casings from the jackets that I removed earlier. Okay, so is it worth all the time and trouble? For me, it is. If you're the type of person who just likes to go and buy bullets, well, that's fine too, you know. But for me, I enjoy casting, and I enjoy trying to get some of this lead gold, so to speak, and turn it into ingots and turn it into bullets. So if you like what you see and you want to see more, please rate, subscribe, and make comments, please. I need comments. In order for me to make better videos for you, I need more comments. Is there anything you see that needs improvement? I'd like to hear from you. But anyways, you folks have a good afternoon. Keep on shooting, casting bullets, making lead, and we'll see you at the range next time. Take care. Before I go, I just wanted to show you this. These are the ingots I made just now. And here's my collection over here. So as you can see, I am not have shortage of lead for future use and for future videos and for other experimentations. Lead is very flexible. It goes a long ways. Take a little effort on your part and you'll have a treasure trove of lead to do what you want to do at your disposal. Anyways, I just want to touch bases on that. Thank you again.